Good morning, it's Michael here from Michael's Card Art, and I feel like I've been continuously on the phone doing videos and not being able to publish any because I found there was a fault with my phone. So I'd get to the end of doing a video and find that I wasn't able to publish it. So, and as a part of that, I felt like I'd been so unproductive the last couple of days. I decided last night, and excuse me while I'm cleaning, I decided last night, up until I think I went to bed at about 2 o'clock, I felt I just had to make something. And anyway, what I made was this. And I have to say I love it. I love it. I don't know what part I love about it. Maybe it's everything. But I found this old, and I don't know if it is old, but I found this die set at the back of somebody's garage sale. And I sat on it for a little while, and I thought, oh, I bought it for a reason, but I don't know what the reason is yet. So therefore it sat in the cupboard for a little bit longer. And I looked at it again last night, and I had already started another project in this bid to feel like I'd achieved something. And that other project was the making of these flowers. And I was experimenting with colour and what you can achieve with a bunch of flowers, and when they're all monochromatic, if you like, even though these have got tinges of greys and browns and blacks in there. And the whole thing just came crashing together, and I thought, I'm going to make one card with it. So it was the dies, and these are the dies for the flowers. You can tell it's an online sale. It could, I don't give a lot of kudos to these online stores when they plagiarize some of the designs and that of more reputable companies. So I know where these came from, but I'm not going to mention their name. But you can find these at a number of sites. I don't know that they've been plagiarized, but anyway, I bought them because I wanted to try out what some of these sites were like. These ones, fortunately, are fine, and so are these ones. But I've bought many a set from these online stores, and they don't cut properly, or they're the wrong size. They don't fit the stamps that they've been promoted with. Anyway, I got lucky with these ones. So I had the tea service. Oh, and by the way, with the tea service, there's I think there's 2 other patterns in there. Yes, there is. And so I've got the tea service and I've got these flowers, and I decided I'd bring them together. Well, it was finished off by this gorgeous designer series paper in the background. Now, I can safely say that the paper is it's an old retired set, and I'm fortunate that I've managed to score it from one of these retired Stampin' Up sites where you have to be a demonstrator to access the site. But there is a raft of gorgeousness out there. There are so many nice papers, and I've been on the hunt for some of these retired sets for quite some time, and I managed to snavel some beautiful old papers, and this is one of those sets, and I've been busting to do something with it. And anyway, so I discovered it. So look, if you do see designer series papers out there that you think you might be able to work with, grab them and hang on to them. And oh look, it just goes on and on, this set. It really was a very nice find. Look at this. Oh. Anyway, so the culmination of those 3 things, the designer series paper, the stamp, the dies, and me feeling absolutely desperate to get something up on the site, it was a productive day after all. And so I got lots of comments about this, and to those comments, if I haven't responded to you yet, a very big thank you. There's one thing that I'm going to change about this, and I'm going to make this card today. Excuse me. Make this card today for us and show you how I achieved the look. But there is one additional thing that I'm going to add, but you'll have to wait and see what that is. So when we get there. So I've just got to go and turn off the washing machine. I've got one of those machines that beeps every time it finishes, and it's a demanding beep, and you've got to get up and turn it off or it'll just drive you crazy. So I'm going to go and do that, and I'll be straight back. Now, all right, I've quietened the machine. There's another thing that I'm going to do differently today as well, is the colouring of these flowers. I'm going to do them tonal, and I'll still colour them. How did I colour these ones? Oh, these ones are coloured with a dauber. I'm still going to colour them with a dauber, but I'm going to just give them a bit more texture. And I thought of putting some other things onto these, either embossing them with some script or some text or whatever. But I don't want to bring in too many elements to this now. So what I'll do is I'll just colour these with some tones, and you can see how I do that. The leaves, you'll notice, they're two-tone. There's a green and there's a grey. For example, on this particular, it's probably easier if I show you when I get there. I'll confuse you otherwise. So just ignore what I just said then. Now, let's start with the colouring. And I did do greys and browns and tones of that nature. So crumb cake, grey granite, possibly soft suede, smoky slate, and I'll do pebble path. I think that's probably a good mix. Not too, yeah, I think I'll do those. I was going to do some pecan pie as well, but it may not sit well. No, we'll try it. We'll live on the edge. All right, so let's start with this, and I've got to pair that with another colour, because I'm going to do, I might do Sahara sand. See how that goes. Now, some of this will be a little experimental because of this two-toning business that I'm now going to want to do. All right, so let's get started and see how we go. And I don't know where the inspiration to, oh, by the way, before I start yabbering on, let's, crumb cake. Actually, I might do the pecan pie with crumb cake. Let's see how that looks. So I always start off with the richer colour first. And so let's apply that richer colour down at the bottom here on the base of the flower. Now, if I was using alcohol markers to colour these, I would have done exactly the same thing. Only I would have started it off in reverse. I would have put the, I would have done the darker colour at the bottom, like I've done there, and then brought the lighter colour with the alcohol marker right at the top. So let me just put a little bit more pecan pie there. Now, you know how I colour. It's pretty rough when it comes to a dauber, when I'm doing tonal stuff. Right, so we've got our brown on. We're now going to add to it the crumb cake. Now, starting, see, I've bent the cardboard, so I show no mercy on the cardboard front. And I'm now taking the crumb cake right to the edge of, okay, and there's your tone, like that. So now you've got pecan pie and crumb cake. Now, the reason I've gone back over that first colour there was because when you apply the lighter colour, you're kind of diffusing the original colour that you've laid down there. And if you do it right, then what you will find, you won't have a gradual line. It'll just blend nicely in the process. And I'm not going to touch that anymore. I think that's just a nice result. So let's do one more of those. And I'm not going to make you sit through and watch me do all these blossoms. And if you do need, after you've seen a couple of them and you do need to see how I've done the rest, then just go back online and review those ones I've already done. It's also good if you experiment with some of these color combinations as well in as you bring your project to life. And let me tell you, I was hopeless at colors before. I was frightened to, you know, you go out and you buy these clothes and you get home and I'd look at them in the bag and I think I'm going to look like a bumblebee if I wear that. So I was really unconfident with choosing colors, and you'd think there was a life and death situation happening, and I'd be just paralyzed in making sure I got the right color combination. Anyway, so I join Stampin' Up and I start doing card craft, and lo and behold, the fear of color has gone. So we've got I'm going to say soft suede, and I'll mix that. So that's a kind of like a rich brown, and I'm going to mix it with a Sahara sand, which is now, if you don't have these color combinations, please don't stress. In your stash, you might have only a few colors. Work with those colors and practice laying down color. Worry about the size of your stash another day. Because when you start worrying about the size of your stash, you'll become immobilized and you won't want to do anything until you get this particular product or that particular product. And how do I know that? Oh, look, I started off, and I'm one of those impulsive people. I mean, when I'm starting something, I have to have everything. I can't just operate with the bare basics. And I'm not even going to tell you how much money I've spent on craft stashes and this paper and that paper. It's yes, it's a first world problem. Now, just to finish that story off, you just need to, every item you get, play with it and see how it operates. And then once you feel confident in your usage of that product or that item, then and only then should you start looking further afield. Okay, now I'm just touching these up as I go, and I'm hoping that you're picking up the way I do things just from watching me operate as I normally do. Now I like that, and I'm looking at the camera now and seeing what the result is. It's a very easy process, and even though, see, I haven't coloured all of the item, I like that bit of space there of white. Okay, so we've got these. These are going to look fantastic, actually, when we finish with them. Trust me, as they say. Now, I've got Pebbled Path. Now, this is a dark grey. And and I'm going to do it with a smoky slate or a grey granite, maybe a grey granite. You know, the difference with smoky slate and grey granite is the granite has like granite colours through it, if you like. It's got a brown mixed with the grey. Okay, I'm just changing daubers every time. Oh, and bumping everything I'm changing the daubers every time because I want to make sure I've got clean daubers. There's nothing worse when you go to lay down a colour and you realise, oh my goodness, it's the wrong one. Alright, so there's the Pebble Path. And this is the first one with a stem, so a little more care is required. And So when you're laying down the colour, you're probably not going so far down, because for fear of either damaging the stem or adding colour too far down the stem. Now, this one is the grey granite, and now that's really quite a nice finish as well. Let's just see how it looks here. So in this one, because of the stem, it's a little harder to maneuver that. But there's our grey granite and our Sahara sand. Let's do another one of those, and then we can decide what other colours and how many we need. So what was that? Now I've forgotten the colour of that. Oh, I think this is the grey granite, yes. Alright, so pebble path. Just apply that there. There we go. And look, and if the stem falls off, because these are... Oh, I've got these flowers because I wanted flowers that I could shape. I didn't want little flowers. I wanted something a bit meaty to go with the card. And even if you don't have these ones, I don't even know what these ones are called, but or this set's called, because it came from one of those dubious outlets, if we call it that. And so no name provided, but have a look in your stash and see if you've got any big petaled flowers that you can use, because I think that's another thing that one needs to do with their set. Become comfortable with what it does and how it works, so that you can improvise on projects when you see them, and you just need to have a few items to make that project. Now I've got that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we'll go with another lighter colour. I'm going to go with the let's do pecan pie and pecan pie and grey granite. Let's see how that looks. Alright, so 2 drawers. So I've got the pecan pie and I've got the grey granite. Alright. The worst that can happen is I might deem it as being a total waste of time trying it, and I might cuss a bit, and that will be the last thing I'll say on the topic, and we'll just cut some more flowers and colour up again. So I like that. See how it's not even, it looks like a fur coat actually, how it's applied. Alright, now I'm going to finish that one off with the grey granite. Okay. Oh, look at that. That's good. That's good. See that colour? Oh, yes. Very nice. Alright. Now, all this praise that I'm throwing at this is not I'm not praising myself in any way, shape or form. I'm just the messenger. When these colours work together like that, which colour have I got here now? When they work together like that, it's just fabulous. Oh yes, I do like that. Just a bit more richness down the base. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's plenty. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right. Now that we've coloured the flowers, let's do the leaves and the stems. Now, the only thing you have to be aware of that I've done is with the card, and I'm frightened to touch it with my fingers these days. You can see here I mentioned that it's green and another colour on the foliage. So let me show you what I mean by that. Just put this away, and I'm going to go and grab, oh no, here it is, here, a drink. Now, the foliage here is two-toned. And the reason I've done that is, I don't know, I don't really know why I did that, but I did it and I was quite happy with the result. Okay, some of this foliage can be difficult to get to because of the position of the stems. Something that I did find online were these things, and it's just a blending brush, I suppose, in pencil format. So you might find this helpful. I'll show you how it works. It's basically the same as a blending brush or a dauber to a degree, and all I'm doing is this, just painting down the green, the mossy meadow it is, which I think is one of my favourite greens. It has, in my opinion, it has a bit of red or one of those colours that makes up brown in its combination. And so when I'm doing these, I'm painting one half of the foliage green, like so, and just going to the halfway mark and my thumb. Okay, so it's like that, and then I'm going to use one of the colours from here, and in this case I'll use the pecan pie. Now I've got my finger just sitting over that halfway line, and I'm just painting down, if you like. Do I want it to be neat? For me, it's not about neatness, it's just about naturalness, I suppose, is the word, if there is such a word, that I'm looking for. And I just want something a bit like what Mother Nature would have dished up. Beautiful, but with some flaws. And look at this, and I think this is great. If you've got a little bit of shade or a bit of light in your foliage, and let me show you what I mean by that. See how these ones, there you can still see some white coming through. Perfect. That's what I really like. Here's a vine that I did the other day. It's an element that's not. It's a bit of an orphan element, because I don't have a home for it yet. I just found it and I wanted to. I'm just unmatting a few things from it. Oh dear. So here it is here, and this illustrates my point a bit. So I've got two lots of green there. Yeah, 2 lots of green. It looks like there's a couple more, but no, it's 2, and I've left an area without too much color coverage to give me that light coming in from this angle type of thing. So if you can achieve that as well with these very delicate leaves or whichever flower you're using, well and good. That's what we're after. So let's just repeat that. What color did I finish then with? Because that's this brush. I think it's the pecan pie. And it doesn't have to be, you don't have to apply the color to the same side of the foliage as you did over here. I'm just mixing it up, and I'm now putting the can you hear that noise? I'm sorry about that. The neighbors have decided to renovate a window in their apartment above mine. So I thought they'd finished, and that's why I started filming, but now they're not. And okay, so we've got the green, we've got the pecan nut, pecan pie, and we're now just applying the green here. And that's as busy as it needs to be. Okay? All right. Now, I'm going to continue the flowers in that same vein. The stems will be green, like so. And then I'll apply a grey to this other side. So let me just show you this one again. There we go. Green. And that's come over a little bit more than half, but that doesn't matter. And I'm going to, where's this grey? Wrong one. Pebble path. I'm going to put that in here. Like so. Alright, so that's how I've done the leaves and the stems on the foliage. Alright, so I'll crack on with those, and I'll come back to you when this is all, when the foliage is all finished. Okay, now the flowers are all coloured up, and you will notice that some of these don't have a stem, but that's not a problem because we disguise that fact under the weight of volume. But here's the colours of them anyway, and what I'll do is they're finished, and now what we're going to do is I would shape them, and I'll do that with a stylus and a piercing mat. But let's put that aside for a moment because I want to show you what I did here with these beasts. Okay. Now, I will say you're going to need a Versamark pen to do this, unless you have another way that you can, what do you call it, make marks on this, you know, with a fine pointed Versamark object. Now, we know what Versamark is. It's the ink, well, it's the sticky substance that we apply to a stamp or an element that allows us to then adhere gold or any colour embossing powder onto it. And so you can't do that with this. And this poor old Versamark pad really has seen better days. So I should have prefaced this up front. You do need to get yourself a Versamark pen. And this I got these online from Amazon, I think it was. And here I tell people I'm OCD when it comes to cleanliness, and look at that. And so I don't know of a substitute that you could use if you don't have this. So for those of you who do, and for those of you who don't, you can go down and order one. Obviously, you just may need to. You can start the other elements and wait for the pen to arrive. But what I've done originally, I dusted it off with the embossing buddy, and that's needed to get rid of all of fingerprints and things like that. And what I'm then doing is I'm just going gently, not like a bull in a china shop, but just going gently, and I'm putting Versamark on all of these elements, and just nice and fine. And I'm not going to do the whole card at once, in a sense that I will probably do these elements in the top and then gold emboss, and that way I can pick up on any issues that I need to as I work through the rest of the card. And I'll just bring this in here like so. Now you're not seeing anything now because there's nothing really to see other than this is where the magic starts to happen. And I'm looking for my tweezers. There they are. Okay, now so I'm just applying. There we go. Fabulous. It doesn't look much there, but You watch. Okay. All right. Now, let's just put this on here. Now, I don't recommend embossing, heat embossing straight onto your glass mat, but just put something underneath it. And so I'm heat setting that now. Okay, I think that's good. And no real issues there. And we'll keep soldering on. All right. And I'm going to do these last, only because there's so many of them, and after a while my eyes start to go blurry. And so you can see I'm just dabbing away. And there we go. Like so. Oh. And okay, and I'll just do these little dots here. Now I'm not going to make you sit there and watch me do the teapot. Oh, sorry, the teacup as well, because I think once you've seen a couple of me stabbing a card a couple of times with a Versamark pen, I think you will have picked up the technique of that task very quickly. And it'll be the same for the teacup. Okay, let's see how that looks. Looks Aboriginal in motif when I look at it like that. Right. Now, I think that's fine. I'm reaching for a paintbrush, a fine haired paintbrush. And I'm just going to remove, yes, create a gap. There we go. Now, I'm just creating a gap where there's, it's a curve, isn't it? Okay. All right. So maybe I'm being pedantic, but no, that's fine. It'll pay off in the end. Let me just do this and I'll come back to you. Okay. Now this is the home stretch. Let's bring that together. Oh dear, all these little dots. All right. If you hear a thud, it means I've fallen off my chair because of the monotony of doing these little holes. And I'm talking quietly now because for me to concentrate on these little holes and to move my tongue, it's not the easiest. All right, let's just see what that little bit looks like. And here we go. All right. That's not too shabby. All right, we're just about there. It's only this curtain of, what do you call it? Vertical drapes. Okay. I'm going dizzy. So, which Which one did I start on? Was it this one? Yes, it was. All right. Oh, now, not long to go. We'll have it all done. And just talk amongst yourselves while I okay, I think that's it. Okay. I think that might just shake off as much as you can. You don't want that line to be a continuous line. Okay, that's good. I'm just going to get that brush and just take away anything that you think may be resulting in just one moment. We'll just finish this off. Oh, that's good. That's good. It's coming along nicely. Fabulous. Oops, sorry. All right. Now, I'll colour this one, and then, oh no, I'll show you how I'm colouring this one, and I'll do this one off here. Okay. Just feel it to make sure there's no loose grains, because that's easy to fix at this stage. It may be a little more difficult later on. But all of that is all heat set. All right, now, how did I colour this? That, my friends, is the easy part. And what we'll use, I'm sure it was it Sahara sand, or was it grey granite? No, I think it was Sahara sands. Okay, we're going to try this one. All right, these nice big brushes. I don't know whether they do a better job. They just feel good. All right, so I'm going to ink up my blender brush. Oh, I do hope it's that colour. Let's just see. On a scrap piece of paper. Yes, I'm sure it's that colour. Better just try one more brush, one more colour. I'll try the grey granite and see what colour that comes back with. Just load up the brush. And no, it is definitely the Sahara sand. All right, I don't want that. I do want this. All right, so how I did that, it's a very simple process, but you just need to follow this step. Don't start colouring like that, because trust me, you'll get blotches. See, a blotch. You don't want that, because they're impossible to get rid of. So what you want to do is this. You've loaded up your brush. We'll start in the bottom section first, and we're colouring the table, and then we're slowly bringing the pad onto the element onto the cardstock. And there you go. It's as easy as that. Now, there is just one little thing I'd like us to observe, and that is light. Where is the light coming from? If we said straight ahead, well then what we would do is we would colour around that. So let's assume the light is coming from straight ahead. So we've got the brush colour, it's coming up onto the element, shading nicely this piece there, giving some rich definition to the handle. Now let's start at the top and get the top of the kettle acquainted. Now see what we're doing now. We're taking the brush up to the sides across the handles. There we go. And look at that. Fantastic. Now we just need to repeat for that side as well. There we go. Okay, now that is that. And you're not going to get a better colour fit than that. So here is our white spot in the centre. All right. Okay. So I've gold embossed the teacup as well. I'm just looking for Sahara sand. Yes. Just okay. Remember, just bring it onto the element. We're looking at colouring the element with the light being on the front, so that we can have just a little bit of light colour there. Okay. I'm just holding the card so I don't, holding the cardstock so I don't rip or tear or fold any of the parts of the. Okay, I think that's just about got it. Beautiful. Okay. Just. All right. Excuse me. All right, there we go. Job done. Looks great, doesn't it? And in keeping with the style of the first card, and I'll just lay these flowers out. And look, the whole thing, as I was pulling it together, I thought, as I said, because when I started thinking about the teapot, I had these flowers on the go for a project, to be identified what that project was though. And as I was colouring and making and sorting and folding, I thought this is the perfect setup for a good old heart-to-heart with a couple of people who care for one another, and they're just spilling the beans. And what more do you do? A cup of coffee and a little chat. Now, I said I'd show you how I shape these. In the past, I would always have shaped this with a bone folder and done it like this. That was in the past. I find a much better result now with a stylus. And let me show you what I mean. And I might even use the larger one. So this is the stylus, nice big metal ball, and you use this just really to create shape. And the way that I use it is I'm just going around in circles and pressing firmly, and you'll find that the element will start to turn counterclockwise to what you're doing. And so I'm turning counterclockwise. anti-clockwise here, and the card is turning clockwise, and that's a good sign. And there is your teapot. And I'm just going to bring, there we go, shape that and shape this. There we go. Teapot done. Fabulous. It's got dimension, it's got height, it's got everything you want. And the good thing about using the stylus is the cardboard, minimal creasing. And if you do see some creasing, it's easier to get rid of that creasing with the stylus. So if there's anything you want for your birthday this year, put it on the list, a stylus. And the packets come in, or styluses come in a number of sizes, but this one's got 4. And it's one of the best things I bought, in my opinion. Okay, let's quickly do the cup. I've got to rush out and meet someone. I've got a commitment this afternoon, and so I've got to fly. But I wanted to just quickly round these off. So here's our cup and saucer. Oh, no, it's just a cup, it's no saucer. And there it is there. You couldn't have asked for a better cup and saucer. It's a great little set. And one thing I'll say about these random sets, I mean, you can make a card out of anything these days. Out of anything. I'm just going to change the stylus to the next size down. And then I'm going to get ready and quickly fly. There we go, look at that. That's all I'm doing. And you've got the best shaped flower ever. Now that's one without a stem. Let's shape this one with a stem, and I'll show you it's just as easy. There you go, look at that. It will move to the rhythm of your stylus. Now I want this one, this leaf, to there we go. I want it to sit that way. Look at that. Beautiful. Fantastic. Stylus. Crafter's dream. Okay. And I'll just do the leaves. And I'll put them both the same way this time on this one. And look at that. Fantastic. All right. I'll be right back. Okay. We've now got all the pieces ready to start the assembly process. And I'm just going to, if I can find the rest of them. Oh, here they are. So we've got all our flowers done. This is the paper I'm going to use to decorate, or the DSP, but because it's so bright or so strong and intense, I don't want to lose any of the teapot, so I'm going to put a piece of vellum over that, and you'll notice it just changes it all together, and I think it's much more suitable. So we're going to use that, and I'll show you cotton bud. I just need to put a bit of glue on my craft mat, if I can get it out. And okay, I'll use a fair bit of glue on this, I think. Now, gluing vellum, that in itself is a challenge. So just get your cotton bud and wet it lightly, and you just need to give it enough of a coating that it will adhere to the backing element, and that way you won't get wet lines or wet dots depending on how you've applied it. So that's what I've found to be the most suitable arrangement for this. And because I've wet this down with glue, I've got the overhead fan on, so it'll dry off very quickly. Says I, and the fan is not doing it. Okay, So I'm going to just do this, and this is always the hard part. I always, okay. Fabulous. It goes down very easily. Oh, there is a God. Look at that. Okay, now what I want to do though is, and I didn't do this on the other card, and it may be overkill on this DSP, but anyway, we're going to give it a go. But what I want to do is, the other card, I just felt it didn't have a sufficient border on it, and I don't know what I could have done differently. But so what I'm going to do here is, I should show you if I'm going to, is I'm just putting a line of, where is it? I'm just putting a line of Versamark on this one, so I can just put the finest element of gold embossing powder. I can't remember where I've done this, so let me just have I done it there? Yes, I have. Have I done it there? Yes, I have. Okay, so I just, right, I need to do these two. Okay, just do this. And this one. Okay, and just going to run it. There we go. Let's see what that looks like. This one. All right, that's probably not the most successful bit of that I've done. Applying embossing powder. So let's just taking some of that down, and just do that. Okay, sorry, I have to be quiet when I'm concentrating because being male, I can't do two things at once. Well, all right, that might do it. Okay, let's see how that looks like. All right, move that out of the way. And it's just a bit of a tricky situation because you want, actually I'm going to do this one first. You want it to just be enough without being over the top. There we go, just a little, and you don't want to jeopardize the integrity of the vellum either. You can overheat it. Okay, perfect. So it's just a fine edge I want. And where's my brush? I'm just going to take this back a bit. It's just a bit too much. Okay. Alright, let's... Okay, now, and the very last edge, and just brushing that down a little bit. Okay, see how that goes. All right, I think that's quite good. Okay. All right. Now, the And you do run the risk, and I'll just get some of that out of the way, you do run the risk of unmelting your glue. So that is something to be aware of if you decide to undertake this folly. And so I'm just going to give it just the slightest. There we go. Back on there. Oh, crafter's license. The oh, okay, that's better than I thought. I thought there was another one that come undone. All right. Oh, good. Okay, that was the part that I wanted to. I just felt that the other card didn't have sufficient frame, and I wanted to address that with this one. All right. Now, let's see what we need to do here. Now, I'm going to use the same sort of placement positioning, and we've got our flowers there. I can remove that and that. Now, the glue. What am I saying here? So this is what we need to do here. Using the glue like this, apply it sparingly in those places where it's going to touch the actual cardstock. You don't need to apply it everywhere, because if you want to keep that dimensional, three-dimensional look about it, just apply it on edge. And you will notice that it will it will hold that shape. And okay, I'm just going to place that on the vellum there now, and without moving it and any further, and you will see it will find its place to settle. And there, just gently touching it, and it will glue. It will find a spot to settle, and it won't lose its shape as it dries. It will hold that shape. Okay, so just a little bit of patience. There we go. Gosh, I feel like I just performed an operation, and I'm just waiting for the heartbeat to start again. Okay, that's very good. All right, just a fraction more. Okay. All right, now we're going to do the same thing with the cup. Some glue around on the edges, and because we're applying it, we're putting the cup and the teapot down onto the cardstock or the vellum, not forcing it, just letting it sit there, you will find it's a better way than using dimensionals to give it shape. And there we go, just holding that down there, and okay, so you can start to see now. It doesn't matter, I'm just looking for a dry Q-tip. It doesn't matter if not all sides are touching the vellum. And so you've got to be very careful that you don't let the glue stick to you, because it will. There we go. It will impact the integrity of the. Now I'm speaking quietly so I don't wake the patient. And the other thing with the vellum, because the vellum it has an air pocket in there, it will lift up throughout the event at some stage. It will lift up and it gives you that sort of like light and dark. And that helps give you the 3D effect as well. All right. So leaving those to do their thing there. And we've got our flowers. Now, what we need to do, if we use all of these, we may not need to, is, you can see that there, yes. So we're just doing the same thing, a bit of glue, because remember now we have applied a three-dimensional look to these, and they will find their space, their spot on the card very nicely. Oops. There we go. And you're just putting them on with a bit of, there you go, like that. Do have your chamois ready, I'm telling you, because I seem to get glue everywhere. Okay, it's a great dye. I'm so glad I went and bought it. Now, next one, a little bit of glue, scraping it in there, and I should be using the tweezers if I was smart. Okay, see, it doesn't take much, and okay, we've got glue on the edges, and we're just going to drop this down here. Don't necessarily need to put them flush, is what I would say. Now, where's another one without a stem? Here, a grey one, good. Okay, so just a bit of glue. And there we go. Oh. And just take that off the edges. Okay. All right. And that one can go there. And there's enough glue on that to hold that into position. And now we can start to apply some of these with the foliage, and they'll just sort of like pile up like that. We don't need all of these, I don't think. Yes, so what I might do is just say one more, and there you go, like so. Oh, sorry, I'm off camera, I didn't mean to do that. And so you've got a look that's a bit like that, and you can see there now, it's a totally different look from the previous one. And I'm just checking. Yes, I just need to make sure that that does stay down. All right, let's finish the process. I'm going to put a bit more glue here. There we go. And we're now just going to, just on the edges, and edge, and a little bit on the leaf, and then that will sit like so. Okay, there we go. as it oozes out everywhere. All right, light fingers, I said. All right, now here we go, a bit of glue, not too much. And on the leaves, actually make it that one. And let's just drop that one down about there and let that find its fall. And let's say that's landing there. So that will, okay. Trying not to press it too much, and I don't want to move it. Yes, it's not. All right, well, crafter's license means that I can hide that, and I don't have to reveal that to anybody. That's my thinking. Now, there's glue there, and I just put a little bit here on that side there. Okay, and let that sit there. All right, and now let's put once again some glue. Now, this sort of card making, where you've got all these little intricate pieces, it's not for everybody, and I appreciate that. And I've tried to be enjoying clean and I'm going to say clean card making, but I just don't do it very well. I always have to throw something else into the pot, and before you know it, it's back to being busy. And I admire, I mean, there's some fantastic card crafters out there, and that takes into account also stamping, what do you call them? Scrapbookers. I hope they don't mind being called scrapbookers. What am I looking for? My choices. Oh, here they are. I should put this one here. And I'm always on Pinterest looking for ideas, and then I find something, and then I go, wow, how did they make that? And off I go. Right. Okay, let's pop that one down. Seem to have a predominance of grey there. Okay. Right. Perfect. And the last one. Okay, here we go. I have to say, I really do like this card. It really is a nice little elegant project. And if there was an opportunity for anyone to, oops, what have I done? Now, that one doesn't have a stem, but I can disguise that like this. And I want that, and I want to close up that hollow that's there. So look what happens there. Okay, and we just put this here, here, and oh, I know what I'll do. All right, so it's got glue on it. Just lift that up over there, and there we go. Not too low. There it is. Just lift it up a bit higher. There we go. Oh, Mary, Mary, Mary. All right, lift that up there. Oh, come on. And bring that down there. Oh, I'm really going to shout at something. Look at it. There we go. Now, all right. I just need to get rid of that. There we go. Get rid of that. Bring that just to there. And look at that. There we go. Not happy with that bit of glue all over there. All right, I can disguise that. Now, let's just move that to the side. Okay. Right, 24 minutes to pull it together, and that was just the glue. I'm just going to put some alcohol on my hands. Okay. So when glue gets onto the product, onto the elements like that, it is going to leave a shiny residue, and that annoys me no end. But what we can do is we can do a number of things, and I'm thinking you could do some embellishments, or the little gold dragonflies, or let me think about it. Each thing I'm thinking of, I probably wouldn't. All right, but so there we are, and I've got. Let me just quickly get the sentiment out, and I'm going to use. Let me just see. This will depend on where I place the sentiment. Yeah, this is the one I use. So let me just quickly cart that. I'll use some beige, some basic beige. Oh, there's some set up in that thing already. And I'll just quickly, oh, come on. I'll just quickly run that through. There we go. And a sentiment will be just something very simple. Oh, look, thank you. Will that fit on there? Yes, it's big. Okay. And I think this will make a very, very nice thank you card for someone. And I think it's too big. Let's see what happens. Oh, I think that might be okay. It is big. And all right. You know what I didn't do then? I didn't need to, I don't think. I didn't use the embossing buddy. That's fine. Okay, I'll quickly emboss this. And what I'll do there, we'll just have to put the backing card, and I'll make that maybe a beige, as opposed to the dark brown one that I used in the previous one. Okay, I think that's good. Alright, and that will just sort of sit, let me just see, no, it will sit just there. That way you're not losing out any of the colour of the plants, the tea, the cup, and whatever. And what I have done in the past, just to show you this, and I don't want to drag this video out any longer than I need to, so I'm not going to show you how to do the backing card. I'm going to leave it very much in this state, and I will do that offline. One thing I have done in the past, with varying degrees of success, is I'm going to put a couple of embellishments there. The moral is do not get glue onto your flowers, because it just is a nightmare to disguise it in summary. All right, so just here a little bit of a curve, and then that will hold these into place. Oops. All right. Okay, so you can see even the assembly when you think you've got it all organized and settled. Now, is all of this? No, I'm just going to put another little skerrick of glue down here to hold these guys into place. And when that dries, that will be firmly done, but hidden away as well, like so. Let me just grab out some little embellishment somewhere we've got here. Yeah, that one. Or oh gosh, there's so many of them. Let's see what I can find. And if you're losing the will to live, I can appreciate why. You know what? These little things. Yes. And I think they're great because, yes, they're not overstated, but they do look like they could be a part of the decoration. Now, the ones I'm looking at, difficult to come off. You could have these as part of your flower, like so. I think that looks good. I hope it looks good. Okay, and just one here. Here we go. And And so you'll know that, actually you don't need that there, I could do it here. So you'll know that these have gone on because, I'm just going to do one more. And these have gone on because there was some glue spots, but they're understated, and I think they're good. Okay, I'm happy with that. You know what, I'm happy with the whole thing. So I won't waste any more of your time. I'm going to just say that's it. I hope, let's just see what it looks like so you can see. Let's see what it does look like with the, right. No, I think it does need a darker background. A darker background, and I think it's going to be the evening evergreen. No, it's not. It's going to be the early espresso. All right. So, thank you for your patience on that. I hope you've enjoyed that, and I hope we've been able to inspire you, and importantly, I think it's you've been able to learn something. It's always good if you leave somewhere and you go, "Wow, that was good." I feel like I've improved my mental capacity. But look, most importantly, I hope to see you next time on Michael's Card Art. So until then, thank you. Take care. We'll see you then. Bye.